Hello, Boozeketeers. This is Tiki King here. It is Tuesday night. You guys know what that means. It's Cocktales and Tiki King. And as promised, we're coming to you from the Tintiki here at the Tinwell Bar at, what was the address?
837 Main Street.
837
South
Main Street here in Utah. I know a lot of you didn't even know there was a Tiki Bar here in Utah, but now you do, and you have no excuse but to get down here every year. What are the hours here? It's
so currently we're open Tuesdays 6 to close, and then weekends from Friday, Saturday 9 to close. That will be changing. We will be open more within the next few months, but for now, those are the hours.
all right. Well, come on down Tuesdays for sure with Tiki Tuesday, and soak up the atmosphere here. This is a fantastic place. It's as far as I know, it's Utah's only Tiki Bar, which is
as far as I know, yeah.
so the competition level is low as far as making a decision as to where you're going to go on Tuesdays, which is going to be here, the Tintiki. And so as promised, we're here. Decided to check it out. I started out the evening with the zombie, very fine, in this classic zombie tiki mug. But now I'm moving on, and I'm trying out one of their house specials. Bartender here is whipping it up for me. We're going to give this a try and see what happens. I'm sure I'll be pleased with the results. But so it's interesting. It's interesting being here in Utah. I've been searching all over for a Tiki Bar, and those of you who know the area, you know that there used to be Bert's, which wasn't even a Tiki Bar. It was just called a Tiki Bar. And other than that, there was not a whole lot. So enter Tintiki, and it's upstairs at the Tinwell. And it's I'd say Utah's best kept tiki secret. So we're here to find out what the lack of hubbub is all about, and to hopefully get some hubbub going. Because I think I know that some of you people here have been looking. You've been looking at me because you've been asking me to come to my house, to come to my bar, to get yourself some tiki drinks. And now there's a place that you can come out commercially. There we go. All right, and this was the
Dr. Disco.
This is the Dr. Disco. All righty, which is it's gin, passion fruit, and a hint of absinthe. We were just talking to, and I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm Scuba Chock.
Scuba Chuck. We were just talking to Scuba Chuck about the use of absinthe in a lot of tropical cocktails, and this is one that he swears by. So we're going to see what happens. That's good. It's not too tart. It's the absinthe is. It's like a hint. It's like a ghost.
Yep. Just
Yeah, go ahead, give it a try.
It's a somewhat heavy rinse, but just kind of on the back end. That's what I really
it's
like.
not. Which we were talking about Dawn the Beachcomber, and having spent some time there and sampling many of the different drinks, I found that some of his recipes, the absinthe was a little bit too present, and licorice doesn't always mix well with tropical stuff. And if you can get that balance down there where it's at a good spot where it's not going to fight, and I'd say that this did it. It's like I said, it's a hint.
Yeah.
Which is how, well, we're also known to just chug absinthe out of the bottle, so.
Yeah.
But that's, so, sometimes talking nuance is lost on me, but. Anyway, so what else is going on? What do we, other than being here now, and hey, if any of you guys want to come down right now, this is your chance to come buy me drinks. What a bargain, I would have to say. We're going to try a couple of the different drinks here, and just let you know what you have to look forward to when you come here to the Tintiki upstairs at the Tinwell at
837
South Main Street here in Utah, in Salt Lake City, apparently. There's a lot of different places. I'm still getting used to it. I'm from Santa Cruz, California, so originally. So getting used to all the different places and names for things.
Yeah.
It was basically where I lived. I grew up. It was like you turn at the red house, and then when you get to the mailbox, you're going to go left.
Yeah, Salt Lake is a grid, which if you.
Ooh. I just got something down there.
For the most part, it's nice, but
So what exactly here is in the Dr. Disco? I know there's.
So it's pretty simple. It's just a riff on a classic old Don the Beachcomber drink called a Dr. Funk. And the original is like 2 drops of Pernod, as he put in everything, and then lime, grenadine, and an aged Caribbean rum, a Virgin Islands or a Puerto Rican works. For this one, I swapped out some of the grenadine. There's still a little bit in there just to keep it a little balanced with we make kind of a passion fruit syrup in-house out of a passion fruit puree we get. And then the rum swap out for gin to kind of keep it a little drier. So it's more tart and drier than the Dr. Funk is, but I think it's...
Well, it definitely works. But there's something in there that I'm trying to identify, and I can't quite. It's it almost has like a grapefruit.
Yeah, that could just be the kind of interplay between the passion fruit and the lime, which are those are kind of the primary flavors really in there. Is those 2 fruits, and then the rest of it is kind of complementing that almost. And,
yeah, it's definitely good. I would recommend it. This is the Dr. Disco. This is a Tintiki original. Mm-hmm. You will not be I will say, come and have a few, and when you wake up, tell them Tiki King sent you. Which I should probably. So should I slow down, because I don't know how much booze you're actually putting in these things.
So that one is
completely completely off the record, booze wise in Utah. What are we talking about?
Everything up here is technically legal.
Technically legal. I like that.
Technically legal. Yeah. Yes, we follow the letter of the law.
Oh.
The spirit of the law.
Because we're gonna have to say that it's been a few hours since my last drink.
Yes.
To stay within legal requirements.
The zombie is pretty stiff. It is the recipe from 1959. It's not smaller or anything. It's the same one. So, because it's Utah legal, we didn't have to change anything.
Fantastic.
Most of our menus like that. There's a couple drinks that are a little smaller, but other than that, yeah, it's these are full strength tiki drinks.
Yeah. So if you come here to the Tintiki, time automatically will pass at the right speed in between drinks.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
As I went to the old spaghetti factory, and I had a beer and a Long Island, and then they wouldn't serve me anything else.
Yeah.
And but that's the beauty, is it? The time
It was
adjusts.
a restaurant, not a bar, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's different laws.
Yes. Yeah. The laws are a little different.
I'm still getting used to all that.
And they're in a bar. We're, I guess, a little more prepared for intoxication. So.
I prepare for it nightly.
Oh yeah.
Prepare for intoxication as needed. That is very good. And they also have, here at the Tintiki, they also have a lot of the classic drinks. Mai Tai Zombie, which I had the Zombie. Jungle Bird Painkiller. Daiquiri, of course. Shark's Tooth. Singapore Sling. Singapore Sling was actually my first Tiki Bar drink.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Back in San Francisco, there was a place called Trader Sam's.
Oh.
Which is probably currently the U.S.'s oldest still operating tiki bar, and it's last time I went there it's been a dive for a long time, but that's the place that a friend of mine said I found this place, and you can go there and get drinks in bowls, and it's like you'll get completely messed up and you'll just love it. And we started going there, and mayhem ensued often. Actually, at one point, Boozeketeer Aaron, we were there. That was back when everybody used to smoke, and he didn't, but he was an aficionado of flintlocks. So he had a primer, and he would into the ashtray, and so the next time someone flicked their ash, and I've told this story before, I think, but yeah. So there at Trader Sam's, one night he was doing that, and there was these fireballs coming up and huge clouds of smoke, and I remember the waitress coming over and waving the smoke away, going, "Can I get you guys something else?" But yeah, so my first tiki bar drink was a Singapore Sling at Trader Sam's, and I remember then, this was back pre-internet, and I think the closest thing I had was like a Mr. Boston's, as far as
Bar book, yeah.
bar book. And I actually found down at the liquor store around the corner from my house, I bought a bottle of Trader Vic's Grenadine, and we used it all up. Before then, now I realized it was the nudie bottle. So that bottle had probably been sitting in that store since like the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And but we mixed it all up in drinks and drank it anyway. Now I'm like, I wish I would have kept it because something like that. But anyway, but I digress. Yeah, Singapore Sling, Navy Grog, Hurricane, the Driftwood. That's the one you see on a lot of menus.
So that's actually one of our originals. I was pretty sure there had to be a different cocktail with that name because it's too good of a name, but I guess I didn't check thoroughly enough. But
yeah, that's one. That's one you don't often see. The Fog Cutter, Test Pilot, and Suffering Bastard, and then of course a whole fantastic selection of fine rums. I was actually up there admiring. They have a few of my favorites up there, which I keep on stock in my bar because that's what I started my night with a modified painkiller. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But not here, but at the home bar using the Smith & Cross, actually.
Yeah, we use Smith & Cross in our painkiller.
Yeah, which that's when we were talking earlier, that's one that, as you Boozeketeers know, I was on a hunt for a long time. We were everywhere we'd go to, I'd say, do you have Smith & Cross? And they're like, what is that? And yeah, we searched high and low. We went to some pretty, I don't want to name names just because I don't want to, but some places that have been around forever and were known for their rum selections, and they didn't have the Smith & Cross. And I was surprised. And it's a fantastic rum if you're a rum drinker. The Smith & Cross, Ray and Nephew, another one. It's almost a tiki drink within itself. It's got those tropical flavors, that sort of banana thing going on. I don't recommend drinking shots of it straight, but it works for me.
Ray and Nephew tastes like a banana tree rotting on a beach.
A banana on fire.
Yes.
Yes. Which I can't say that I'm against that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we've had the zombie. We've had the Dr. Disco. So now I'm so between the Talataani and the Driftwood, which one of those would you?
Kind of depends. So the Driftwood is an old-fashioned variant, so it's kind of a little bit outside of the normal tiki wheelhouse. It's stirred down, no citrus other than a lemon twist. The Tlatoani is a tequila drink because being Salt Lake City, tequila is kind of the booze of choice for a lot of people, which I completely understand. And so we wanted to kind of put something with tequila on the menu, and I just kind of played around a little bit and came up with it. And it's I quite like it. It has just like a little bit of Campari, give it kind of a hint of that bitter kind of on the back.
I like Campari. I actually did last show or 2 shows ago? I did the bitter Mai Tai, which actually has Campari, but it I don't know if you're familiar with Trader Sam's at Disneyland.
Yes.
So the Angelada.
Yeah.
So the Angelada is that's my go-to drink because it's their strongest.
Okay, yeah.
And that goes back to the Smith & Cross. I was on a hunt for Smith & Cross because that's what you need for the Angelada. Yeah. And I found a recipe called the Bitter Mai Tai, which uses Campari. And it's basically a Mai Tai with Campari, but it tasted almost exactly like an Angelada. And I was...
Well, great, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. But... so yeah, Campari, but I'm a fan of the Negroni, so
yeah,
Campari is a. I think I'm gonna have to try that.
All right, let's do it.
This is another one of the Tintiki originals. If I'm pronouncing it right, the Tlatoani, yeah. Tlatoani. Okay.
It's a Nahuatl Aztec word for emperor. It's the title that Montezuma would have had, and it's kind of fun to watch people try to pronounce it.
So this one has Campari, which I'm a big fan of, and tequila, which generally gets me in trouble. So this could be good. You never know. Is it served on fire? Because that's always good too.
It is.
No, it is not served on fire. We were actually talking in the our bartender here is a fan of setting things on fire. Not necessarily professionally, but you know. What's it? Laying Martin Denny. Yes, there is some fantastic exotica music playing in the background.
It's an actual record.
Do we have a DJ spinning back there?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing a record, but yeah.
So
I mean, it's just the record.
every other week here, we've been doing this. It's been a great time. Adam is a local DJ, and he's a big fan of kind of exotica music and just kind of other kind of world music and stuff. And so we've been doing these kind of listening parties on Tuesdays.
Oh, fantastic!
As well. So you can even bring in your own records if you want.
Wow!
And it's been kind of a great time.
So as a growing up, my mom actually had Quiet Village, as I think most people's moms of my age did.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I appreciated it as much as a kid.
No.
But then now I'm pretty excited that I still have that album. So
It's yeah.
Quiet Village on. We are listening to exotica music on vinyl. So that's pretty exciting. What's that? Oh, am I supposed to? Should I be interacting with you? Hello, audience. I'm sorry, I've been neglecting you. I'm not supposed to read the comments or look at when we do the show. I'm not supposed to look at the comments because then I get caught up in all this sort of thing. No, I'm just watching the master over here at work fixing up this fine cocktail. Is that? Alrighty. Here we go. And this one is tequila based. And is that a Luxardo by any chance?
Yeah, well, it's not Luxardo brand, but it's maraschino cherry.
Okay.
Imported from Italy, although they might grow the cherries in Croatia, but they're maraschino cherries. They're real.
Croatian cherries. That's all right. Luxardo is one of those things that it's a luxury if you can.
Yes, yeah.
It's worth it if you can afford it.
Yes, yeah. And I mean these cherries are incredible too. I swear by them.
What is this?
The cherries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's minutia, but I'm just.
I'm trying to remember the name of the brand. I can see the bottle.
But they're nice and dark. They're not your standard bar cherries that have been bleached and dyed pink.
Nope. These are, as far as I know, they are pitted sour cherries grown somewhere in the Mediterranean, and then they soak them in sugar in the kind of traditional maraschino process.
I'm gonna take half, and then you get the other half.
Okay. Did you already take your half?
Yes, I did. Producer Maggie loves the maraschino cherries, so. Now those are a bit tartar than the Luxardos.
Yes, yeah, they're kind of tart.
But they have a different.
They're not as heavy as the Luxardos.
No, not as heavy. That's good.
I like them.
Alrighty, so here's the hard to pronounce drink. And he was right. He was telling me earlier that it has a flavor profile that's. It's interesting. What's that?
What's in that? What is it?
This one. That's the. Yeah, go ahead and give it a try. It's a tequila-based drink. This is the Tlaatani. Yeah, it's got a little bit of Campari in there. There's a little bit of orange. It's tequila-based, but it's got some complication. It's interesting because the Campari is not. It's noticeable, but it's not overbearing by any means. It almost acts like a bitters in this drink.
Yeah, it's not very much in there, but you taste it definitely.
It has it has a lot of layers. It's that's good. I approve. Tiki King says check it out. Don't ask me to pronounce it, but order it nonetheless. Once again, we're here at the Tintiki above the Tinwell Bar. And all you Tiki people, anywhere here near Utah, even if you're not near Utah, if you're, say, here in Colorado, make the drive. Get a hotel. You won't be disappointed. You got to come down here. You got to come. We should start coming here every Tuesday. Well, I can't. So I get the show. If I didn't have the show, I would be here every Tuesday.
You could just do it from
I
here
would.
every Tuesday.
I'll just, maybe that's it. Maybe I'll just do the show from here now every Tuesday. See, I can't even. Now I can't talk about. We'll talk after I turn off the cameras about some other things. But once again, Tintiki above the Tinwell Bar here at 837 South in South Main Street in Salt Lake City, Utah. You need to come on down here, get your act together, undo your act once you get here, have yourself some fine tiki drinks. And I would say, although, I mean, I will eventually drink the whole menu, but I've now had the obscure drinks from the menu, and I have not been disappointed one bit. And I can't imagine that any of the other ones are going to disappoint me in the least. So I'd say come on down, have yourself a drink. And until then, so what's next? Oh, so now back to other business. Are you coming out to Moab? Any Boozeketeers? We're going to be there, and Wicketinker's going to be playing, and probably drinking a lot of scotch and having ourselves a good old time in Moab, Utah next week. And then the week after that, I'm not sure where the show's going to be coming from, because we'll be...
That's probably going to be from Trader Sam's.
Probably Trader Sam's, somewhere down in Los Angeles, because
Maybe
we're going to be...
Maybe from our Anaheim condo.
Oh, maybe we could do it from... That's true. Yeah. We could. We're gonna have an entourage. So
maybe Boozeketeer Amy can be there.
Oh yeah, we could do it from. So we may be coming to you from a brand new location that we've kept secret till now. Oh, cat's out of the bag. We're gonna have to go get the bag and get the cat back in it. But until then, I want to say thanks to our bartender, he's been hiding off screen all this time. Oh, there we go.
Cheers.
Serving us up some fantastic drinks here at the Tintiki. Come on down, say hello, buy yourself some drinks, have a good time.
Thank you to Amy
for
responding to me.
Thank you to Amy for saying, hey, yes, please, come on down and do your show from our bar. And thank you to Boozeketeer Ivy for telling us about it in the first place. You've got a present coming, Ivy. I mean, I always say that, but this time I mean it, for sure. Until next time, Boozeketeers, I'm Tiki King, and you're the Boozeketeers. And remember, good night and good drinking.